All right, so we'll get started. We're gonna start with, step back so I don't have to crouch down. We're gonna start with a variation of a downward dog, which we don't usually do, and then I'm gonna go through an animal flow progression. Those are kind of new. Everything else you guys should know, so I'm just gonna kind of review those, and then we'll hit the timer and we'll get going. So instead of a downward dog scorpion that we did last week, we're gonna kind of do a three-legged poodle. So not stacking your hips, you're gonna keep them really level. You can just watch for a second. Then you're gonna think about drawing your knee into your chest as you shift your shoulders over your wrists. And then going back to that three-legged and then step down, and then we'll switch to the other side. So that's a little change up from last week. Going to the animal flow, that's the one where, right, we're kind of on our hands, we're sitting our hips back. And then you're gonna think about stepping, replacing the same side hand as foot. You're coming up. If you have enough space, right, because everybody's kind of limited with space at home, you're gonna think about then grabbing through this heel, the hand that's down, and then try to step all the way through. This leg doesn't touch the ground. Then you're gonna pull it back in and then step back. I did give a variation last week for those of you who have bent knees that don't love you so much, don't bend all the way, where we're just doing a half kneeling hip flexor stretch on that one. Everything else you should know, or be easy to follow along. For the damp, we're going for 3 rounds, 45 seconds on, 8 seconds to just rotate to the next one. So those were the only 2 that were a little bit confusing, or something that we typically don't do here at Training to Be Balanced. So I just wanted to go over those. We're gonna start with that 3-legged dog, drawing that knee into our chest, going for 45 seconds. So finding those hands down on the ground, lengthening through that heel, thinking about scooping your abdominals, bringing that knee into your chest, send that leg back, bring it down, and then switch over to the other side. So here, unlike our downward dog scorpions, I'm trying to keep my hips square to the ground, not stack them. And there is a shift that happens forward as I bring that knee forward. So you're changing from a downward dog position into a plank position. Really thinking about sending the supporting heel down. Sumos! I think everybody knows sumos. So that's what's up next. So for me, I like that hamstring stretch. Take that athletic stance, let that head be heavy, let that torso be heavy. Dropping your hips, lifting your chest. Thinking about pressing open those thighs, anchoring through those heels, really lengthening through that spine. No arm release today. We're just gonna go back to that hamstring stretch. So grabbing a hold of wherever you can grab a hold of. Some might be toes, some might be feet, some might be ankles, some might be shins, depending on where your mobility is. So adjusting accordingly through your body. I have ridiculous amount of mobility on the posterior side of my body, so it's really easy for me to touch my toes. That might not be the case for you. And then we're going to that animal flow variation. So you want to think about setting up a quadruped, knees underneath belly. You're going to lift your knees, you're going to sit your hips back, and you're going to walk your hands forward. You're going to replace same side hand with foot. That's the first movement. Then you're going to bring that back leg through this movement window here, meaning through that opening between your arm and your foot. Step back, hand down, step back, and then switch it over to the other side. So really lengthening through, thinking about the abdominals bringing you back. Right, so there's a lot going on with this. If it's really confusing since you're not here with me, then just go back to what we were doing last week. Or go to that hip flexor stretch, right? Here somebody is like, my knees just don't do that. They're not gonna bend that way. So either one of those, I'll take. What's up next? Oh, 2-point lifts. You guys know 2-point lifts. So nice high plank. Finding that nice high plank, thinking about squeezing glutes, lifting belly, opposite arm and leg lift. Leg goes slightly before arm. And then coming down, switching to the other side. So minimal to no shift as you take those 2 points of support off Really finding that stability, thinking about the belly lifting, shoulders away from your ears, length through your neck, no chicken heads. Letting your breath help you. You might hear me exhale as I lift those two limbs, right? Last one. Oh, tabletop swing through. Everybody's favorite. So, finding that nice crab position. Fingertips pointing to the side or pointing front for me today. Finding that crab position, nice high hips. Thinking about your legs helping you, extending those legs, driving through those legs as those hips swing through, and then doing almost like a hamstring curl to come up into that crab position. Again, extending those legs, pushing back, and coming up. If you're somebody, right, that you're like, nah, the tabletop swing through is not going to work for me, for whatever reason, you can just always hold the crab. I know it's everybody's favorite position. Yes, that's sarcasm. Sarcasm for you on this very chilly April morning. All right, we're back to the beginning. So back to that single leg dog, pulling that that knee into your belly. So I'm just going to flip over, find that down dog position, lift that leg. Thinking about my belly scooping as I bring my knee into my chest. Send that leg back, and then switch over to the other side. So again, listening to your body, this is your damp. You lift that leg and you're like, holy moly, that's a hell of a stretch. Maybe you hold it for a little bit longer, right? Maybe this feels good on your shoulders and your abdominals, because you haven't felt them in a while. After this, we have our sumo. So finding that nice athletic stance. Let your head, let your torso be heavy. Grabbing a hold of wherever you can. Drop those hips. Lift that chest. Lengthen through that spine. Use those upper arms, right? I'm not just collapsed down here. I'm lengthening out of all my joints. And then switch it back to your hamstring stretch. Let your head be heavy. Let your torso be dead weight. And again, this is another one, you don't have to go my tempo. Listen to your body, right? Although I would say if the hamstring stretch is hard for you, you probably need to hold it more than less. Also, same is true for the squat, right? If you have some hips that don't love squats, maybe you're holding that squat position for a little bit longer. Animal flow, so that's that weird kick through. Whatever variation you want to do, knees underneath belly. Sit those hips back, walk those hands forward, replace same hand with foot, then step through. Foot does not come to the ground, I do not collapse on my shoulder. So thinking about really pushing that floor away. This does not have to be fast. You could do it fast, but you can move through it at a nice even tempo. So stepping forward, bring that leg through like you're trying to reach your toes through something, and then step back. Switch it over to the other side. Again, if you have a knee that does not love to bend, this is going to be a hard exercise for you. I just want you opening up your hips. So think of that half kneeling stretch that I showed at the beginning. 2-point lifts. Your nice high plank. Woo. 2-point lifts. So thinking about, show you from the other side. Give you a variety. Think about opposite hand and leg lifting up. If you're feeling, spunky today, and you want to go for a wax on, wax off, you certainly can do that. Or just go for the regular 2-point. Think about that leg lifting slightly before your hand. The weight of our leg is a lot more than our arms. After this, we have our tabletop swing through. Nice. I'm just going to flip my wrist the other way. This is a lot of wrist plank stuff, so I'm just going to flip it the other way. For a brief second, go. Nice high hips. You're trying to get those hips nice and high. Lengthen through those collarbones. Extend those legs. Send those hips through. And repeat. Let that neck be relaxed, right? I don't want to hold tension in it. Pushing that floor away, right? I'm really thinking about driving the floor away with my arms as I extend my legs. This is not just all shoulders and arms. I'm using my legs quite a bit. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Let your head be heavy. Extending through those legs. Nice. We have our third round, and then we'll move on to the main circuit. Back to that three-legged dog, or that downward dog position. Sending that leg back. Scooping your abdominals, almost like you're trying to, I don't know, hit your nose with your knee. That's how much you're scooping your abdominals. Really thinking about, lifting those abdominals as you go through that. And again, listening to your body. If there's a position that you need to hold for a little bit longer, give it a little extra tender loving care. This is your dance. This is the time for you to turn into your body for what it's going to do for you today. After this, we have our sumos. Sumo. Sumo. I don't know. 3 cheers for sumos, I don't know. It's Tuesday morning. Yes, it's Tuesday. I feel like we're in that life right now, where a gentle reminder of what day it is probably not a bad thing. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's Tuesday. Woo! Dropping those hips, lifting that chest, letting those hips open, lengthening through that spine, using those upper arms to help those hips open. So I'm actively pushing out on my thighs. So I drop those hips down, lengthen through that chest. Let that head be heavy. Gonna get a little bit more length. Yes, yes I can. Weird animal flow, front kick through. It's actually not weird, it's just that we don't do it that often. Lifting those knees, sitting back those hips, walking those hands forward. Step forward, sit through, pull it back in, hand down, step back, switch, replace the hand, get through. I'll add the sound effects, just in case that's how you feel. Right? It's not necessarily an easy movement, even though it's just body weight. There's a lot going on with it. What now do we have after this? I think we have our 2 points. Yes, our 2 points. And stepping back. Nice. Again, I'm going to give those wrists a little bit of a bend the other direction. A lot of stuff on our arms. All right, 2 points. Here we go. Squeezing butts, lifting belly, shoulders away from ears. Lengthen through that heel. Think about reaching back, not up, to lift those legs. I'm going to try to minimize the shift side to side of my hips. See if I can get even less shift this time. Letting your breath help you. Thinking about energy out your tailbone, energy out the top of your head. Breathing, stabilizing through those shoulders, making sure that we're not starting to shift our hips up, but we're keeping those shoulders over our wrists. And then tabletop swing through. And then let the fun begin. So finding that nice crab position. Let that neck relax. Think about squeezing those glutes and hamstrings. Almost like you're doing an isometric hamstring contraction. And then repeat. And extending out. Right? Like I said, this isn't just the arms and the shoulders. Your legs are doing a lot of work. like, there we go. I was like, I feel like the timer stopped. All right, grab a drink of water, and then we'll move on to the next section. Water is good for you. All right. Okay, so for this next section, we're doing 2 exercises, 3 times through. One of them I do twice on each side. That will make sense once we get into it. So I'm going to give you 2 exercises. We're going 3 times through. And then I'm going to give you 2 more exercises, 3 times through, 2 more until we do 4 sets of exercises. You're on 45 seconds. You're off 12. Sorry, I was about to grab the timer, but I need to tell you what we're doing. Our sit-throughs. This is not one, I'm trying to think if this is in any of our classes. I think this just comes up in semis. So this is a nice high plank. You're trying to bring the opposite leg as far up to the hand as you can. And then you're going to step back, and you're going to go to the other side, right? Some of you might want to go grab maybe a little stool or a chair if you're having a hard time with this. Also, it doesn't have to come, you're going as far up as you can. My leg goes pretty far. You might be down here. And then we can also go a little bit quicker pace. So it can look something more like this, right? Or it can be more of a step touch. I'll take either. So that's your sit through. Plank shuffle with a push-up. Go 1 shuffle to each side to 3 shuffles to each side, depending on how much room you have. So that's the shuffle, push-up. So those are our 2 exercises. We're going for 45 seconds on, 12 seconds in between. Again, if you need to flip those wrists the other way, lots of upper body stuff on the ground. So you need that break, take that break. Here we go, we're starting with our sit through, that nice high plank, bringing that foot through. It's the first one I did. So here we go, we're stepping, step, step. As I'm doing this, I'm going to really concentrate on not my hips getting too high, right? They have to lift a little bit to get from side to side, but I don't want to end up here where I'm almost in a downward dog. I'm trying to stay in that nice high plank position. Thinking about the shoulders going down the back of my rib cage. I'm lifting my belly. Again, this can be more of a step touch, or it can be more of a kind of a jump to each side. I'm going to stretch out those wrists. We have our side plank push-up. Here we go, finding that nice high plank. Shuffling to the side. I'm going to run into the green mat, that's okay. No chicken head, push-up. So I'm doing about 2 shuffles per side, depending on how much space you have. Maybe it's a shuffle, maybe it's 3. Maybe you're in your garage and you can give me 4 shuffles. I don't know. Doing what you have space for. My belly's already starting to warm up. That core. How's yours? Oh, I know you can't answer. Back to your sit through. I promise the next section isn't so risky. That's good for us, right? Just kind of load our bodies in different ways. Here we go, sit through. I'll show this way. So again, we're trying to keep those hips nice and low as we go. So as I go, I don't want to end up here with my hips nice and high. I want to think about that plank, 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 plank. Bringing that foot forward as far as your hip and your body will allow. Right, mine goes pretty far forward because I have a lot of mobility there. You might be more down here. It's okay. Doing what your body will do. Halfway through. Oh, my shoulders are getting warm. My belly's getting warm. Maybe I'll shuffle this way. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So, using your breath to help you on that push-up. Nice inhale on the way down. Force flex as you push the floor away. And shimmy shuffle on over to the other side. Again, I don't care how many shuffles you give me. It's space dependent. But I do care that you're focusing on pulling that head back, lifting that belly, squeezing that butt cheek. Nice, one last time with these two. And then we're gonna burn your butt. Burn, burn, burn. All right, sit through, here we go. Last time. Stepping all the way through. Let your breath help you. Fighting to keep those shoulders over your wrists. Breathing. Touch my hands. Almost there. Keep it up. You got it. Last time you're doing it. Nice. Last of this set. So here we go. Woo! Push up. Using your breath to help you. And shuffle to the side. Shuffle to the side. Squeeze those butt cheeks. Belly. Think about pubic bone pulling to your ribs. To help with that belly. Thinking about the back of your head reaching towards the ceiling so we don't get that chicken head. Let your breath help you. Next. All right, we're going to just pause the timer. I'll give you the next two. This one we're going to do twice on each side. This one didn't change from last week. It's our runner's lunge and our single leg bridge. So here I am in a nice deep lunge. You'll notice that this is probably the only lunge we do where you have a straight back leg, right? I'm not 90-90 and my torso is not lifted. I'm gonna swing that back leg up. I'm gonna find my single leg balance and then I'm gonna swing it back down. So up, down, up, down. If you feel like you have a little extra go, 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 you can always jump, right? That's okay, we can do a hop on that. Whatever your front leg is gonna be the single leg bridge, right? So in that case, my left leg was just in front. Now my left leg is gonna be the supporting leg for my single leg bridge on that. So here we go, runner's lunge, single leg bridge. We're gonna go twice on each side. Oh, what leg should we start with? Let's start with the left. We'll stick with the non-dominant, even though that's actually for me, is my dominant leg. Here we go, the beep is going, so left leg's down, right leg's reaching long behind you. You're swinging that leg all the way up, and then going back down. I know this is a more difficult exercise for me, because I really have to concentrate on doing it and talking at the same time. It's not one that I can easily, right, rub my belly and pat my head while I'm doing. Again, if you want to add that jump. I'm really thinking about the supporting hip, folding and sinking back as I reach the other leg back. I'm thinking about my abdominals pulling in, and I'm thinking about the swing of my leg and my arms to help base of support. So for me, I want you to think about widening those shoulder blades, right? Sometimes in yoga, because they have a different motive, they have you pinch your shoulder blades together. I do not want that. I want you to think about wide shoulder blades. Nice, wide base of support. How's that butt cheek doing? Mine's burning. Sweet, other leg. So right leg's gonna be the front leg, left leg's gonna be the swing leg. What did I just say? Right. Here we go. So as I come up, right, I'm really thinking about the supporting leg, just glute squeezing, belly pulling in. Shoulders are relaxed. If you have some dumbbells close by, right, you can always add dumbbells with this. Or you can always add the jump. My little right knee that has tears and cysts in it and arthritis, it's not going to jump. So I am going to go for that single leg balance, finding that balance. Oh, I'm fighting for it there for a brief moment before I send that leg back down. Okay, single leg bridge. Right leg was the front leg. Now it's your supporting leg for your bridge. Sending that left leg up to the ceiling, wide shoulders. As I bridge up, I'm thinking about that femur and kneecap getting pulled forward to lift my hips, right? I'm also thinking about my pubic bone pulling towards my ribs so I don't find the hip in my height, So I don't find the height in my lower back. I don't want that. I want to lengthen out of my lower back. I want to find the height for my hips. So if it feels like you're crunching in your lower back, try pulling that pubic bone to your ribs or closing your ribs up. Chances are you're just hyperextending into that lower back. Woo, burn, baby, burn. One down on each side. We got one more to do on each side. Switch it around. Left leg's forward. Again, you can jump if you want to. Trying to control that descent, right? So we're not just falling down, but we're slowing that momentum down. Pop, hold, slow it down. Pop, hold, slow it down, right? Working on that de-acceleration. It's gonna build a lot of strength. Thinking about length through your spine. I'm not collapsing down, but I'm lengthening my tailbone away from my head, top of my head. Hello, so you should be feeling it on the underside, right? That hamstring, that glute to drive up. Left leg's the support leg, right leg's reaching for the ceiling. So here we go. I'm thinking about lengthening, sorry. I'm gonna show the other side. Lengthening through that femur and that kneecap. Like somebody's pulling it forward. And since they're attached to your hips, that's what lifts your hips. Or digging your heel into the ground and pulling your heel towards your sit bones. Wide shoulders again, no pinching those shoulder blades together. They do it in yoga, but they do it for a different purpose. Not all bridges are created equal. Woo! Second time. Right foot's forward, left leg swinging. Here we go. Letting that swing of your arms help. Woo! I need to turn on my core. Like I said, this is a hard one for me to talk and do at the same time. If you don't believe me, have a conversation with yourself at home. There we go. Found my rhythm. So really thinking about that supporting hip sinking down, driving through that supporting heel to come up to standing, letting that swing happen. If you're somebody who grew up to weight vest, right, you can always do this whole workout with a weight vest. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. There's still some here. And we still have at least 2 more weeks of this. All right, right leg down, left leg reaching up. And I want energy through the leg reaching up. You'll see this round too. I'm bending that knee, that's why. You might be somebody that's a tough position for you. Bend the knee. That's an energy through that foot and leg. Last one we're doing of these 2. Oh yeah. I just looked at my cheat sheet to see what's coming up next. Fun stuff. Letting your breath help you, I can't say it enough. All right, stopping said timer. Grabbing a quick drink of water since we're halfway through our skill set. Plus the heart rate's gonna go up. We're gonna do squat down thrust. Woo! Okay. Next one. First one is a single arm squat down thrust. If you have something going on with your shoulders, there is no problem with doing 2 arms, right? So it is written as a single arm, but if you need to adjust for 2, go ahead and do that. To our arabesque flip. The only thing changed was the single arm. So as always for our squat down thrust, this is why we did our sumos in our damp. We drop our hips to go down, right? You're gonna find that nice high plank. You're gonna drop your hips to come up, right? So that's what we're doing. Let's alternate those since we're only doing 3 rounds. And then our arabesque flip, right? Reaching through that heel, think like you're doing a forward kick on the boxing bag, pulling everything in, and then flipping it over. Whoop. Let me see if I can do that without collapsing in my supporting knee. There we go. Nice level hips, right? I don't want to see this where it's lifted. Everything pulls in, everything reaches. That one, we'll pick a leg. Second round, we'll pick the other leg. Third round, I'll switch you halfway through. So starting with your single arm squat down thrust again. At any point you have to put 2 hands down, please do. I don't want anybody doing face dives. Here we go. Dropping those hips to go down. Dropping those hips to come up. Especially since you only have a single arm. Glutes and abs have to be on. Really making sure that that shoulder is packed down the back of your rib cage. Breathing. Also, if you're on a slick surface at home, be careful, right? I'm so used to this very sticky black gym floor, but I know from working with clients, we're on floors that are much more slick. I know I am at home. Let's do right leg down, left leg's reaching. Woo! Flip it over. So how much can you control this single leg balance now that your heart's really going? Right? That's a lot easier when I haven't jacked up your heart rate. Really lengthening through that foot. Your torso does counterbalance, but I do want abs and glutes on. So I'm not collapsing in my lower back. And right now, my right ankle is getting a little burny from all the stabilizers. Back to your single arm squat down thrust. Here we go. Nice low hips. Squeezing glutes and abs as you send those legs back. Since I've totally taken away a point of support, you have to have all those supporting systems on. I don't want it going in your lower back. If you're somebody, I know I have a couple knee people in here. If you're somebody that squat down thrust is just really hard, you can give me the quick squats of 24s. You can also give me like mountain climber matrix. Either we'll work part of this and still get that heart rate up. All right, left leg down, right leg's reaching. So again, finding that single leg balance now that your heart is elevated, or your heart rate, I should say. Nice level hips. As you're doing this, if you're finding that your knee is collapsing towards the center line of your body, think about pressing out your thigh. If you're finding that you're kind of falling to the outside, think about anchoring through your big toe. Nice, third time around. We're almost there. Single arms. Maybe next week we'll do single legs. I've been doing them. The Portland classes have been doing the single leg burpees. Not that this is a burpee, but that's a challenge, I gotta tell you. What's going on with that exercise? So hopefully some of you have been taking advantage of the Portland classes. It's good to just see different teachers, different exercises, different cueing, different structure. You're gonna be a little delayed because you don't know their terminology, right? So maybe they downward dog scorpions called the twirly bottom. You're gonna be like, what's the twirly bottom? And then you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh, downward dog scorpion. So if you do take their class, just know, pick a leg, any leg, that you're gonna have a little delayed reaction and pickup. I'm gonna switch you halfway through. That's why I backed up, so I could sneak a peek at the timer back here. Next time through, switch your legs. Supporting leg or reaching leg goes down to become your supporting leg. Belly is still active, right? I haven't turned off my core. Woo! I'm still thinking about that whole transverse abdominis wrapping around. Like I'm trying to cinch up my waistline. By pulling in my belly. Not holding my belly, not breathing. And I should still be able to breathe continuously through that. All right. Last two. Yes. Burn, baby, burn. I'm just gonna put this on the diagonal so I have a little bit more for my knees. Kneeling, side legs. Both knees down, tip over. Shoop. As you do this, you're fighting to keep your bottom hip forward. It's gonna wanna creep back and your femur vertical. And you're gonna lift and lower and circle. I'm gonna tell you all sorts of things. If you have a knee that does not wanna be on, you can always come here and do it on your side, right? But you're still lifting the side body. I'm not relaxed like I'm watching TV. That's your first exercise. Second exercise. This does not come up in our classes. Michelle sometimes does it in her yoga. So, side plank. If you have to stay with the side plank, stay with the side plank. Top leg. Tree pose. So you're drawing that leg up as far as you can. You're gonna think about pressing back that thigh. And you're gonna hold, baby, hold. So that's what we're doing. Let's start with our left knee down first. Our right leg's gonna be the one going up and down and circling. So here we go. That beats yours, left knee's down. Tipping over, maybe you're already there. Thinking about pressing that front hip forward. Lift and lower. Woo! Pulling in your belly, it's not just hanging out. But you should still be able to rise. And then circle one way. And circle the other way. And let's do flow forward and backs. As you do forward and backs, you're thinking about squeezing that bottom glute. So I'm not waving through my body. I'm trying to keep that body nice and still. Nice. Just making your way down. right? So now my right forearm's going to be down. I'm going to get ready to set up that side plank. I'm lifting. I'm going to find that bottom glute, that bottom waistline. Then if you can, top leg creeps up. Thinking about pressing out that thigh. Well, watch that chicken head. I'm famous for doing chicken heads in my side plank. I don't know why. I want to look down and see what the rest of my body is doing. So I'm going to really look forward. I'm going to squeeze that bottom glute. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to smile. Breathe. If you have to go back to a side plank, go back to a side plank. That's okay. You're almost there. You got it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nice. Switch on over to the other side. So now my left knee is down. My right leg's the one that's reaching long. Pulling up in that belly. I'm lifting, lowering. Woo! I'm circling. Circle the other way. Oh, I'm trying to keep that leg nice and high. Mine's falling. I'm going to struggle to keep it up. Forward, back. Thinking about pulling in belly. Squeezing that bottom glute. So my upper body is still. The only thing that should be moving is my leg. Nice. Making your way down to your side plank. Stacking those hips. So set up that bottom side body first. I'm a little off, so I'm going to get over my elbow. Then once you got that glute, that waistline, bring that top leg up. Press that thigh back. Watch those heads, right? I can feel mine kind of falling off my spine. So I'm going to lift it, pull it back. Like I have my ponytail reaching for the back wall. Squeezing that bottom glute. Again, if you have to just go back to your side plank, go back to your side plank. Thinking about this top thigh reaching or pushing back. Breathing. Nice. Oh, I bet you we have time for one more time through on each. My shoelace is coming untied, so I'm going to tie it. Right knee's down. Left leg's out to the side. You should already be there, unless your shoelace was untied. Here we go, lift and lower. Hello, side of hip. You're speaking to me. And then circles. So I'm really thinking about, that bottom glute squeezing, pushing that hip forward. I'm thinking about lengthening through that leg that's circling through my heel. Like I'm trying to reach that heel to the wall that's far away. Circle the other way if you haven't already. And then little forward back. So I'm going to think about belly in, butt cheek squeezing. My torso doesn't move. All right, back down to your side plank. We're almost there after this. The rest of this one. On the other side, we get a stretch, baby stretch. Right, side plank. Set up that support system. When you're ready, take that leg up. Thinking about pressing that back thigh, that top thigh back. No chicken heads. Squeezing that bottom glute. Lifting that bottom waistline. Drawing that bottom elbow into my heel. Squeeze. You got the shake, shake, shakes, round two. Almost there, you got it. Stay strong, breathe, slow. Nice. Left leg down, right leg's doing all the gesture work. I say gesture, you say work. Oh yes, it's working. Up and down. You know you're in trouble when you haven't even barely started the 45 seconds and you feel it. Hello, hip. And this is good for all our spring sports, or running, or cycling, or hiking. Circle the other way if you haven't Trying to keep that leg nice and high. Fighting for it. You're almost there. Nice. And then all the way down. Last side plank. Here we go. Woo! Glute, waistline lifted. Elbow pulling towards that heel. You got that going. Top leg can come up, right? It might be down here at your ankle. It might be in your shin. It might be way up where your leg attaches to your pelvis. Mine just happens to be at my knee. That's where my body's gonna take it. No chicken heads, pulling that tailbone, pulling that ponytail is actually what I wanted to say. Back, almost there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that bottom butt cheek. You have to go back to your side plank, go back to your side plank. Nice. All right, grab a quick drink of water. We're gonna go through a couple of stretches for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn off the timer. And grab a quick drink of water. All right, so we're gonna take about 5 minutes to stretch. Augie talked about this on Friday when we had our workout and wine. That one thing that you can do right now during this month is work on stretching, right? Most of us have something we can work on. It's a great time to work on it. Today we're gonna do Warrior 1, Warrior 2 to deep squat twister. So I'm gonna have you start standing. You're gonna reach one leg far back. I'm gonna think about setting that heel down. It may or may not get to the ground. I'm gonna think about squaring off these hips. I'm gonna think about opening up the front of this hip. And I'm gonna reach up, but I'm not gonna let my belly hang out, right? So ribs to pubic bone. Opening up the front of this hip. Slowing down that breath. Then, keeping this front thigh exactly where it is, I'm gonna open up my back foot. So my toes are pointing forward, and I'm gonna open them up so they're pointing out. And this thigh did not change. So I want you to double check that this kneecap is still in line with your second toe, that we didn't let it collapse in. And then we're gonna think about nice wide arms, almost like somebody's pulling our fingertips in opposite directions, and our shoulders are relaxed. I am actually pushing back this thigh, right? So I'm not just letting it kind of hang out. I'm activating that external rotator on that hip. Now I'm gonna think about dropping my hips. This front toe comes forward, and we're gonna do our deep squat twister. So I have low hips, and then I'm just walking my hands around or diagonal through my legs. If you find a spot that you're like, oh, I feel that stretch, hold it for a couple breaths. So deep squat twister. Now we're gonna mirror it on the other side. So we're gonna go to our Warrior 2. If I have my left leg forward to start with, now my right leg's gonna be the forward leg. I'm gonna take those toes, I'm gonna point them forward. My back toes, right? They're like at 90-degree angles. So my arms are kind of mimicking where my toes are. This knee, I want behind your toes, but in line with your second toe. I'm pressing back this thigh. Wide arms. Shoulders away from your ears. And speaking of yoga, Michelle's doing her live class tonight. So, you know, if you want to double dip, the commute's really hard. Sign up for her yoga class. Going into Warrior 1. So I am setting that heel down. May or may not get to the ground, but that's where I'm going. I'm thinking about pulling up on my belly, opening up the front of this hip, taking those arms, reaching them overhead. Ribs are relaxed. Shoulders away from ears. Now we're just going to reverse it, going a little bit quicker. Warrior 2. Pressing back that thigh. Anchoring through that back pinky toe. Feet are at like 90-degree angles to each other. Right? I'm just showing so you can see with my arms. Then dropping those hips, bringing that toe forward. Deep squat twister. Great. Warrior 2 on the other side. So I'm picking up my toes. I'm pivoting on my heel. Toes go forward. I'm driving through that back pinky. I'm pressing out that back or that front thigh. Shoulders relaxed. Then I'm picking up this back heel. I'm rotating into warrior one. I'm going to rotate just a little bit so I don't block you off with my upper arm. So again, I'm reaching this heel down. It may or may not get down to the ground. On this side it's not, on my other side it is. I'm squeezing that glute, trying to lift this pelvis. Nice. One last stretch. Variation on a figure four. I think you all can see me. Yeah. If you have a part of your body that's not going to do this, you can just do a regular figure four. So, on the ground, arms in a giant T. One ankle's crossed over the other knee. And then you're going to dump your legs so that you're standing on that foot, right? So, in my case, my left ankle's crossed over my right knee. And I'm going to dump my leg so I'm standing on my left. Breathe. Send breath to that tight area. So you should be getting a stretch in this top hip. It might creep up to your lower back. If you're somebody who is super bendy, because I know I have some super Gumby people on this class day, we can take this bottom knee and drive that leg or ankle more up into our shoulder, and that will increase the stretch. I'm still thinking about this knee reaching up to the ceiling. Taking a nice big inhale in, exhale, thinking about being heavy through the back of these ribs. I'm going to pull those ribs down, pull the back of my waistline down. I'm going to come back to my center position. I'm going to unhook that leg and I'm going to switch on over to the other side. Then I'm going to dump my legs over to the side, or like I'm standing on my foot of the leg that's crossed on top. And I'm going to take my focus away from the side that my legs have dumped. Again, if you get here and you're like, no, I don't really feel a stretch, then take that bottom leg and you're going to hug those knees much more up into your chest. Thinking about that opposite shoulder being heavy. Breathing. Taking a nice big breath in, thinking about heaviness through the back body of the opposite side, and then think about your oblique line, right, that cross diagonal, bringing those legs back up. Great. All right, we're done. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, especially on this pretty but cold day. And we'll see you next time.